Hey there, travelers. Mag and I here on day 62 of our trip across the United States. Today is our first full day in the Upper Peninsula. We actually got our day started off a little bit late, so we may have squandered away the lead time that we gained in the last couple of days. But we're not behind for sure. At worst, we're on time, and that's a-okay with me. We're starting the morning off here in Ste. Marie, and we're actually looking across the river into Canada. Unlike when we did this with Skeletor 10 in Maine, we are not going to be crossing the border. We're going to stay firmly here in Michigan, so wave hello to Canada. Canada! That's the most we're going to be seeing of that today. We're going to be making our way west into the Upper Peninsula. We've got about 330 miles to cover on today's schedule, but it's not overly saturated with targets, so I don't see any issue with us being able to stay on time and get everything that we have planned on our list for the day as well. After the day we had yesterday, we're good to take it a little bit easier because, man, there was a lot to do, a lot to see, and at the end of the day, despite how much ended up on the cutting room floor, I still ended up with a two-part video for day 61. We're really looking forward to another exciting day, hopefully with a little less excitement than yesterday, but these clear blue skies are I really want to keep seeing, because that means we're not going to be drenched like we were the other day. So come along with us, and let's see what the Upper Peninsula has in store. We got our day started off in Chippewa County in the beautiful city of Sault Ste. Marie, the only city in Chippewa County. Settled by Europeans in 1668, Sault Ste. Marie is actually the oldest city in the state of Michigan and the second most populated in the Upper Peninsula, right behind Marquette. The city is located along the St. Mary's River, which flows from Lake Superior to Lake Huron and forms part of the U.S.-Canada border. On the other side of the river is the larger Sault Ste. Marie in Ontario. The two cities are connected by the Sault Ste. Marie International Bridge. Two beautiful cities side by side. Sitting on the waterfront is the 550 long, 58 feet wide by 31 feet deep Valley Camp. From 1917 until 1966, this 11,000-ton ship logged 3 million miles and carried over 16 million tons of cargo. Now it rests on the border between US and Canada as one of the most unique maritime museums on the Great Lakes. The dog and I considered a tour, but they require kenneling outside, so we decided to walk instead. The public access boardwalk will take you all the way around the outside of the Steamship Valley Camp. Not only is it a great opportunity to enjoy a view over the St. Mary's River, but it also hosts a pretty interesting geocache. Just make sure you're doubly careful about where you stick your hands. Otherwise, you might be in for a shock. When we reached Brimley State Park, not too far outside the city, we were treated to our first view out over Lake Superior. Then it was off for a short jaunt on the trails with Aichun. Given the cool weather this morning, it was blessedly mosquito-free. And the dog seemed more than happy at the opportunity to stretch her legs first thing, shaping up to be a great day.
You see it? Yep, there it is. Good find, Aichun. Good job. Now we have to figure out the combination.
No service, so I had to call in and phone a friend. Thanks for the assist, me mom. Aichun's been waiting here patiently while I tried to get this lock off. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We took longer than I'm willing to admit to get the lock off that geocache, but we did eventually get on the move again. Next stop is the Cape at Whitefish Point. This area is actually known as the graveyard of Lake Superior, with around 550 wrecks within its waters, making this a watery graveyard for more than 300 people. It sure is great that we've gotten so much better at maritime navigation since then. You can learn all about this morbid history when you reach the Whitefish Point Lighthouse. Constructed all the way back in 1861 during the Abraham Lincoln administration, this is the oldest operating lighthouse on Lake Superior. And as of 1987, it is also home of the Shipwreck Museum. There are several trails and memorials here, all located beachfront. Walk in any direction to the north or the east, and you're bound to encounter a fantastic view of Lake Superior. From there, we made our way over to Tahquamenon Falls. After a half-mile down the trail system, Ai-chan was not too excited to see these stairs. But even being the metal-grated kind, her least favorite, she still made it happen. All 94 of these bad boys, like a boss. It was well worth it though, because the waterfall itself was astounding. It's so interesting how every waterfall seems to have a unique personality of its own. So of course, we thought it would be a good idea to sit down and get to know this one a little better. We did need some rest after all those stairs, after all. And sometimes you just have to soak in a good view. Our day began to wind down toward its close when we reached the Shishwa Lighthouse in Schoolcraft County. The sun was dropping quickly over Lake Superior and our light for the day was going with it. So we were thoroughly surprised when we reached the Manistique East Breakwater Light with still little daylight left in the sky. We took advantage of the fortuitous opportunity and hiked our way out to the lighthouse on the point. This walk was a great way to bring our day to a close and a fantastic time to view Lake Michigan. A little choppy, but not too bad compared to those storms the other day. As always, Ai-chan was most excited about the walk back to the car. Well, that wraps up another day on the road for Ai-chan and I. We started our day on the shores of Lake Superior, and now we're ending on the shores of Lake Michigan. I really feel like in the last couple of weeks we've been bouncing from lake to lake to lake. Michigan really is the home of the Great Lakes, and we are loving every minute of it. Ai-chan and I had a pretty good day. It was not as crazy as it was yesterday. It was a little more low-key, but it was a beautiful drive through woodlands all day long. As we'd move along the highway, we'd get an opening to see Lake Michigan on one side, or we'd get an opening to see Lake Superior on the other, and that was the flavor of the day all day long, and we really enjoyed it. And we hope you enjoyed the sights you got to see along the way too. Like this video, subscribe to this channel for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.